Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches, I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. So oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz?
Hi there, my name is Greg, and I'm here today to tell you about a vision we have for a company called GreenMyRide.com. And I want to show you our company car, 1987 diesel Mercedes-Benz that we have tweaked out. Our company focuses on taking existing cars and putting conversions in them that lets them drive cleaner, and sometimes on free fuel such as recycled vegetable oil we find behind restaurants, and even conversion kits that let you drive your car on regular tap water. And so I'm going to show you a quick tour of our car to give you an idea of what our company's about and the companies that we're here to support in this green movement. We have the three-way switch that lets us go from the vegetable oil tank in the back to purging it with diesel fuel. And we've added a new button that lets us turn the hydrogen cell on and off. We're on vegetable oil right now. And if I was going to park for the evening, all I would do is go to purge. And right now diesel fuel is being looped through. You let it idle enough or flip soon enough to where once you get to your home, diesel fuel's in the line. The next morning you go to start your car, you drive for a couple minutes. Once your engine coolant's got hot and the motor's nice and warm. So if we're about to get home, all we do is switch to purge. Right now diesel fuel is coming in, purging the vegetable oil out of the lines. After we've driven for a while and it's hot, with this switch, boom, we're driving for free. Pollution's cut by 80% almost, depending. We have a few monitors down here. This is a vacuum gauge monitoring how clogged that filter's getting. So as soon as this thing starts to register, I know it's time to change our filter. We have a temperature gauge. It's important to know on vegetable oil when it's hot so the motor will work properly. And then we have an amp gauge measuring the hydrogen cell. And once I turn it on, we have about 15 amps going to that cell. That's all the electricity we needed to create that much hydrogen gas. And so basically we've driven about 16,000 miles in this car since converting it. We've been in Colorado, Utah, Nevada, California, all over Arizona, and have had no problems. The motor's been improving over time because the vegetable oil coats the motor and makes it almost frictionless. And to prove to you that we're on vegetable oil right now, I'd like to take you back to the muffler. Not many people do this with diesel fuel. It's just like cooking French fries. So inside the trunk, this is an old kit from a company that's now called Golden Fuel System. This is a kit that's 3 years old. The technology's gotten a lot better in the more recent years, but this system has worked well for us for about 20,000 miles in this car. And the basic is, as you notice these black lines, this contains engine coolant. How you drive on waste vegetable oil is to start the car on diesel. You drive until the motor's warm and the engine coolant's warmed up the vegetable oil. We flip a switch, you start using the vegetable oil for fuel. So these are the engine coolants. There's a heat exchanger inside there that it loops through. Once the fuel's hot, we flip a switch, and as you can tell on this line, this is recycled vegetable oil. We got a little pump to help get it through the filter, which is next. This red thing is a heater that lets us heat the filter as well as the coolant heat in the tank. And then the vegetable oil, once it's nice and hot, is sent off to the motor, and the diesel motor uses it just like it would diesel fuel. It actually works better because it's a more lubricating fuel, and the motor quiets down, the performance improves, and your exhaust and emissions is cleaned up by about 50 to 80%. We have 3 containers. With this full, this full, this full, and the 12-gallon tank, we have a driving range of about 700 to 800 miles, depending on, a bunch of other conditions. At that point, we pull up to any other suburbia town, find their good grease, get permission, fill up, we're on the road. We've done 2 cross-country trips, logged over 60,000 miles just on free recycled vegetable oil. This car gets about 25 to 30 miles to the gallon, depending on driving habits. Other cars, the VW Rabbits, can get about 50-55 miles to the gallon. 10 gallons of fuel will get you 500 miles. There are hundreds of thousands of gallons of oil behind restaurants all throughout the US right now. This is not something that's going on a mass level. Anybody that gets involved with this is going to have free fuel for a long time and be cleaning up their footprint. We left Phoenix, drove to Colorado, spent a couple months driving around the mountains, took off, went to Utah, hung out in the desert, hung out in Nevada, went to California, visited a lot of good farms and communities, drove down the coast after spending some time in the Bay Area, hung out in the Palm Springs desert, and finished our round trip about a couple weeks ago. 6,000 miles. We spent about $50 on diesel fuel and about $50 on filters average. So fuel isn't technically free. It's about 2 to 4 cents a gallon for us. Can afford that. This is a small cell comparatively to the bigger ones that are out there. I chose this one because we show off this technology to a lot of people, and having the clear casing is nice because you'll be able to see the hydrogen gas that's being produced. There's stainless steel plates inside, and we're simply running a small voltage of electricity here. That first, using this simple circuitry board, we're able to get what's called the resonant frequency of the water molecule, which basically how an opera singer breaks glass, we're able to break the water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen gas. That gas is then introduced in our car. Since it's a diesel, your only option is to introduce it into the air intake. On gas cars, you can introduce this into the carburetor or the air intake. For us, it goes into the air intake, and the added boost that the hydrogen in the air system gives the car, it cuts down on whatever fuel you're using. In our case, it's diesel and waste vegetable oil, and we get about a 10 to 30% increase in miles per gallon using this. So on top of finding free waste vegetable oil as our fuel, we're able to conserve it more by adding this hydrogen boost. People are making kits that literally fill their entire trunk up with cells like this and can give the car 60, 70, 80% better gas mileage, which means you can go a couple hundred miles a gallon. Conversion shops are opening every day across the country in all cities doing vegetable oil conversions, hydrogen boost installs, converting cars into electric cars. There's a bunch of stuff going on right now, and the current situation, this stuff's not being shown, and so we just want to start showing it more, helping those that are doing this, and just being part of the transformation and transportation. So now that the resonant frequency is going through the stainless steel plates, the water molecules separating into a gas. This gas has got a few names: Brown's gas, E-gas, HOH gas. And basically it's combustible. It can be introduced into any type of motor and reduce the amount of fuel that's being used, whether it's gas, diesel, vegetable oil, ethanol, any of the new fuels coming out. There's other ways to produce this and store it in a tank and then convert your car and insert cylinders of hydrogen. Fuel cell cars, you could make your own fuel at home with a solar panel on the roof. Right on. My name is Greg. Thank you for supporting GreenMyRide.com. There we go. She's nice and snug. So there you have it, Mercedes. If you need any new fuel testers, I've got your Mercedes-Benz running on recycled waste vegetable oil using a hydrogen boost kit where we create hydrogen on demand from regular tap water. Thank you, Mercedes, for a wonderful car. There she is, nice and snug. So once we're ready to hit the road, everything goes back in place, and we're ready to continue our mission. Lost my trunk space, but no longer have a fuel bill.
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches, I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. So oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz?